Hello, my lovely Leos, and welcome to your general energy reading for the weekend and next week. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, if you haven't checked out your moon reading, please do so and let me know if you enjoy that, because I would like to do those again if you do enjoy it. Otherwise, please do like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. It's free, it's fun, and why not? But without further ado, let's go ahead and get in here. Again, general reading, take it as it resonates. We will use these straight up, so no reversals. We use this deck for your energy, another tarot deck for your challenge, and 3 oracle decks to kind of give you a full scope. So let's get at it, shall we? All right, my awesome, lovely Leos. Let's see what we got for you. All right, here. So we have a 6 of Wands. Okay, so that is telling me that you are moving forward. You're moving forward kind of in a jubilant way. I feel like this is a happy thing. So you may have come out of a crap week and you're just happy to move into the weekend and next week just to be done, okay? Or you've gotten some new opportunities, new things on the horizon you're looking forward to. So moving into the weekend and into next week is like an exciting thing for you, which is great, you know, something that you can look forward to, and you're moving forward towards that. So that's excellent too. That may be what's going on for many of you, especially if you have something already planned, something coming up that you're excited about, an opportunity that's already presented itself. As for your next card, we have the 7 of Wands. Okay, so this tells me that as far as work, your work situation has been a little bit precarious for you. I feel like you have really been putting a lot of effort into it, really been working away. So for many of you, maybe that goes back to this where you are just thrilled that the week is over and you do have the opportunity to rest. Maybe you're on spring break next week and that is like, you're moving towards that time off. You're moving towards that, and that's your thrilling, you know, happy opportunity to just get a break. Because with the 7 of Wands, I do feel like many of you have been having a lot of just kind of plug and chug at work. You know, it's kind of been just monotonous. It's kind of been just really laborious. You're plugging and chugging, you're grinding away. You feel like it's like one of those I'm overworked and underpaid situations where you just don't feel appreciated. You don't love it. You're not feeling fulfilled. And you feel like you need a change, to be honest with you. This is kind of a card of change where you want to move forward, okay, but you're not there yet. You know something needs to change in some way before you can move forward in a positive way that you really want to. So something is kind of feeling like it needs to shift. You may not know exactly what. You may be considering things. Maybe you're considering switching jobs. Maybe you're considering, you know, a new opportunity. Maybe that's part of what this is you've got some new, you know, interviews lined up. Maybe you've got some new opportunities lined up where you're going to be talking to some people about going out on your own with a partnership or an investment opportunity, something like that, where it's going to be a shift from your normal work situation. That could be the situation for many of you. But I do feel like you are definitely looking into, you know, a shift. You know that there's something that has to give. You're just unhappy with what's going on. It's like you're feeling like your work has made you complacent and you're sick of it. And your last card is the 8 of Swords. So I feel like this is something where, again, I feel like you're bound. You feel tied up. You feel like you're trapped. And again, with the 8 of Swords playing into these other cards, this is kind of making me feel as though, you know, whatever it is, it makes you feel like you're trapped into this position. So I don't know if it's something where you feel like you're stuck to it because you're under a contract with this position, or the opportunities that you have had require such a big change that, you know, you feel almost trapped, like you can't really make that change. It would be too much. You know, it requires a move, requiring you to move your whole family, something like that. Or you feel like because you, maybe you don't have a lot of credentials specifically, and you've been applying and you're not getting the responses that you want. You know, you need to make a job change because you're just miserable or what have you, but you don't feel like you're getting the response you want. So you feel like you're kind of stuck. You know, you kind of feel like you're you're out of options. Realistically, you feel like you have nowhere to go. You know, everything is kind of just like, okay, well, I'm going to be stuck in this dead end job for the rest of my life, is kind of like the feeling you get. You feel like your options are so limited for you right now. But, you know, I don't feel like that's the case for you. You know, I do feel like there are going to be opportunities out there with this Six of Wands that will be coming down the pike. I just feel like right now, that's the feeling that you have. And you may have that feeling because this may have been something that you've just kind of allowed yourself to get into for a while. You've been there for a while. You've been dealing with this for a while, and you just haven't really made a lot of moves to make a change. Or, you know, you've attempted to apply here or there or mention this or that, but you haven't actually, you know, had the responses that you want yet. That doesn't mean they're not coming, okay? Or maybe you've contemplated or discussed with your family the idea of, you know, starting your own business, or, you know, going out on your own, or trying this or that, you know, making a move to a place that has more opportunities or whatever. And they're kind of like, no, not so much. So you kind of feel like, okay, my family's kind of limiting what I can do too. So you kind of feel like you're trapped from all sides. So, you know, it could be something of that nature where you feel like people in your world are also keeping you kind of tied in, you know, it's like you're kind of stuck. What can you do? But there's certainly things you can do, and certainly, hopefully, our clarifiers here with our oracle decks will give us a little bit more information and maybe some advice that will help you. But let's see what your challenge card is. I do feel like part of the challenge here, before I even draw the card, I feel like part of the challenge here is that you do feel, with the being stuck thing, I do feel like part of it is that you feel like, you know, your family is an issue. Friends, family, that you're in a place where you feel like you're tied to, and you're so tied there that it limits your opportunities. Maybe you live in a place where you just don't have a ton of opportunities, and, you know, leaving the place might be the best opportunity for you, but that would cause a lot of issues with your friends and family and whatnot to leave them. So that's part of the problem. So right here, your challenge is the Seven of Wands on top of the Seven of Wands. So again, I mean, your challenge is just changing direction. I mean, you are having a real issue with changing direction because you can't change direction. So ultimately, your situation here is you're going to catch 22. It's like that old adage. It's like, okay, I know I need to change jobs, but I can't get the job because I don't have the experience, but I can't get the experience because I don't have the job. So I feel like maybe that's kind of what's happening for a lot of you, okay? A lot of you are in a situation like that. Like, I can't break into this this field or this position or get the raise or whatever because I don't have, they keep telling me I don't have this, but I can't get that without, you know, them allowing me to do this. So, you know, what do? I'm at catch 22. So I do feel like for a lot of you, that is what's happening to you. And you're like, this is ridiculous. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard because, you know, I'm willing to work. There are a lot of people who aren't willing to even try. They're not even willing to do these things. I'm busting my hump every day, day in, day out. I'm getting good reviews. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm getting no opportunities, no shots because they've got some, you know, some little fine letter line here in fine print that says you have to have this specific certification or this specific many years of whatever, or this specific degree or this specific whatever, you know, and I can't get those because they won't let me get those until I can have those. So, you know, whatever, you know, how am I supposed to do that? You know? So I feel like that's where a lot of you are, and it's causing extreme frustration for you, extreme feeling of helplessness, tied upness, you know, what the hell am I supposed to do-ness, if that's a word. But let's see what your oracle cards here. This is the psychic deck, and see what kind of light we can shed on that to see if we can get you any sort of advice, any sort of help, to kind of get you moving forward, get you into a better place. So see what we've got here on the Six of Wands. So destiny. Okay. and this is like I said before, I do feel like there are things coming for you that are better, okay? It may not be the avenue you've been trying to take. So you may have been trying over and over and over to take the same steps in the same place. And again, you're in a catch-22. You're in this never-ending circle, okay? But you do have some movement forward somewhere ahead for you that I feel is going to be potentially happy. This may be starting now. This may be something where you are, you're going forward here soon. You're doing something fun. You're doing something fun this weekend. This is short term, happiness, moving forward, opportunity coming in. You go on a spring break, you take some time off, you have the weekend out, but you meet somebody that ends up being the person who opens a door for you, okay? Metaphorically opens the door for you to get into a position that you want, because this is coming up with your destiny card, okay? So I do feel like your destiny is out there. You are going to get where you need to go. You just need to keep your eyes open for any and all contacts, connections, networks that might help you, and realize that if what you've been trying over and over is kind of just keeping you in this wheel, that doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result may not be the best idea, because a lot of times that's it's just not happening. Okay, just not going to happen. But I do feel like there's something out there for you. I do feel like there is going to be an opportunity. You just have to be cognizant, eyes open, ears open, waiting, watching. Anytime you can possibly network, get your name out there, throw this or that out there, because there are a lot of people who don't really care about those specific criteria. They just want somebody who's talented, that will work hard, and they'll recognize that from you, okay? But you need to find those people, and that requires you to, meet and greet sometimes. So I think that is first step. Let's see what we've got here on your 7 of Wands over your 7 of Wands. So frustration on top of frustration, plugging away at work over and over, trying to make things change, trying to make more out of this work than you possibly can over and over and over again. Let's see what we can get on that. So discernment. Wow. Again, I think this is just telling you exactly what we just said. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is probably not your best option. You're going to have to be more discerning about the steps you take going forward. So, if you've been continually trying to get these same people to see your talent, to see and recognize that, they should accept that you might be missing this tiny little tagline, but you've got everything else going for you. Or in lieu of this degree, you've got this many years of experience. So if you just wait a little bit longer, if people don't want to give you something, they won't, okay? And if they do want to promote you, most of the time they can find a way to do that, okay? Most of the time, let's just be honest, it comes down to, not what you know, but who you know, and how much they're willing to work for you to do it, or whose contact is willing to, go above and beyond to cross certain T's and dot certain I's to make things happen in this world, unfortunately. And so if you know that, and you've been trying and you've been doing your best and you've been getting all the things you need to do, your reviews are good, your work is good, you're on time, you're all of these things, and it's still not changing for you. You're plugging away on top of plugging away on top of plugging away. You are trying over and over to change your position at work, to get a promotion, to get a raise, to get a lateral shift, anything, and it's just not happening. Then you need to be more discerning about, the job that you have in general. You may need to look elsewhere, somebody who's going to appreciate your talent more. You may need to be looking for those networking ideas, because somebody will, your destiny lies elsewhere. Okay. You may need to start thinking, if you haven't already, and you may very well have been thinking, hey, I could go out on my own and be my own boss. And I don't need to have credentials to be my own boss, because I already know all the information. I already know how to do this job. I can do this job better than 99% of the people here. I just, I don't have what HR says I need to have to get this, this, and this, you know, raise, promotion, bonus, title, whatever. Okay, but I could do this myself. Okay, well, this may be the time to use your discernment and discretion and say, you know what, maybe this job isn't for me and I need to look otherwise. Now, I'm not saying jump and do something like that without doing all your due diligence, you know, your background information, making sure you study, you know, all of your P's and Q's and make sure you know what you're doing. Check with your financial people, all of that good stuff, all your background that you do before you jump into anything or leave jobs or anything like that. But I am saying, you know, maybe consider, if you've been doing this for a long time, over and over, trying to get something out of something and they're just not working with you, then maybe that's not the path you need to take. Maybe your destiny lies elsewhere. Okay. Especially if it's keeping you in a place where you feel tied up and bound and, you know, you have no movement, no ability to freely, you know, progress. You know, that's literally the definition of dead end here. You know, dead end job is, you know, if you're tied to a stake, like in this picture, you know, literally, and you cannot do anything to promote yourself or, you know, no matter how hard you work. I mean, is that what you want? No. So, you know, I think you probably need to think that through. And, you know, that would be the same if it was a relationship, you know, but in this sense, for most of you, I feel like this is involving, you know, career choices for most of you. But let's go ahead and get a final piece of advice here on this 8 of Swords and see if it can let us know what you may want to do to try to keep yourself or get yourself unbound, feeling less bound up. So this is saying prioritize self-love and care. When do you feel most nurtured and cared for? Again, okay, this is telling you right now that you don't want to feel this way. This is the worst. Feeling like you have no power over your own life, feeling like you're tied up, feeling like no matter how much you work and struggle and fight and do everything you're supposed to do and everything that's asked of you to the letter, and you still can't have any sort of appreciation, recognition, or control over your own movement. I mean, that's not, you know, I mean, what was the American dream back in the day? You know, it was that regardless of station or education or whatever, as long as you really wanted it and worked for it, you could make it happen. Well, if you know, that's not living the dream at all. If you're tied up no matter how hard you do work and do everything, and that's not your destiny. That's nobody's destiny in any country that's happy or pleasant or whatever that you want to live in. So, you know, if you want love and self-care, you need to be watching out for things that are making you feel good. Okay. So find a place where you feel like you have some control, where you feel like if you work hard, you're going to get the due appreciation and it's going to be shown to you. Okay. If you're working for yourself, you're your own boss, you're going to be appreciated because people are going to actually appreciate the work you're doing. Not just you're doing it for somebody else, some other big corporation, you know, whatever it is, you know, be discerning about how you go forward with life. This is your life. This is your choice. And make sure that it makes you happy, that you enjoy yourself, not that you feel tied up and frustrated every day of your life. That's not going to be good for anything. It's not going to be good for you, your mental health, your people around you, because when you're frustrated and angry and upset and have bad work days, you're going to take it out on your loved ones, your family, even when you don't mean to. You're going to be short, unhappy, you know, grouchy, whatever. And it's going to affect everything around you. It affects your whole life. So again, you know, your destiny lies in a happier place and it's out there for you for sure, but it's not by doing the same thing over and over again. Okay. So I do think, and the number 10 came up twice, if that means anything to you. So keep that in mind. But I do hope that this helped you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff. Otherwise, I hope to see you back later, and have a great one.